All right, music fans, welcome back. It is Dave, the Real Music Observer, coming at you with more real music in real time for real people, just like you right there, and yours truly here. Uh, Neal Schon wants his band back, part two. Remember part one when Neal Schon wanted his band back in the late 1990s when Steve Perry was MIA with a hip injury, and they waited and they waited. And of course, in that famous VH1 documentary, which a lot of folks use as their Bible when it comes to Journey, anything Journey, they go to the documentary, which, okay, it's a good documentary and there's a lot of facts in there. But there are some things that have transpired since that was almost 20 years ago. The point is, though, in the documentary, Jonathan Cain, of all people, is being interviewed, and he makes the statement, hey, I'm looking at a guy who just wants to get his band back. And fast forward almost 20 years, and Neal Schon is kind of in the same boat once again as the good ship Journey sails into the summer touring season with Def Leppard after a very momentous concert which happened over at the Independent in San Francisco. One of the big concert events of this year, if not the biggest in my estimation, where Neal Schon, Dean Castronovo, Marco Mendoza, John Varn, and Greg Raleigh got together and just played 3.5 hours of vintage Journey music with all kinds of surprises. And that has fans energized. And energized enough, by the way, a lot of people thought, well, maybe they won't be as energized about this version of Journey, which is touring this summer. Cain and Sean obviously don't see eye to eye, and they make no bones about it. Both of them have interviewed the same way. Although I would say Neal has more or less held his tongue, just saying that people change and they go in different directions. And whereas Jonathan Cain in an interview said something like Neal was airing his dirty laundry or airing his laundry, and then he responded to the interviewer as if to be speaking with an imaginary person by saying, yeah, whatever, dude. And to me, that rubs me the wrong way. Neal is out there promoting, along with Joe Elliott, and obviously Live Nation, the band's management. They want it this way. Keep in mind, they probably said, hey, Neal, get out there. And Neal right now is the support team. He's the guy out there doing the work. But when this thing is over, or even maybe during this thing, Neal Schon will be thinking to himself, I just want my band back. I want a band that has team chemistry. I want a band that has fun and works hard but has fun out there. I want a band that's creative and interesting. I want a band that just doesn't rest on the catalog. I want a band that possibly creates some new catalog that you can at least, showcase now and then. One of the great things about Journey Through Time was these crazy deep cuts, which were just awesome. For hardcore Journey fans or just fans of classic rock or music in general, I mean, what can beat the patiently trial by fire Stay a While medley that Dean Castronovo sung, as kind of a front man for a little bit. It just doesn't get better than that as a fan. And I had people tell me they were in tears after watching that, which I was pretty choked up to, because it was just a great medley, a great choice of music. And this is the future. If we can all just kind of encourage Neal and the powers that be, that this is the direction we want the band to go in, I can almost guarantee you management's going to go right along with the fans. They want to make money. It might mean that in the end a new management company comes in. We don't know. I know Live Nation is brutal with this summer concert stuff, and They tend to be the only game in town for folks like us who want to see classic rock, and they're assembling these mega tours. You know, you've got like Styx and Tesla and Joan Jett. You've got Ann Wilson, Paul Rogers, and Jeff Beck. Everybody's jumping on the conglomerate tour bandwagon, although not all these tours are created equal, folks. You know, the Journey Def Leppard thing is top notch, and that's why people are really excited about it. And Def Leppard puts on a terrific show, and they're just a fantastic band. So kudos to Neal and Joe Elliott for getting out there and representing their bands. And for the rest of us, we wait to see if Neal Schon gets his band back again. I'm Dave, and this is the Real Music Observer. I'll be back observing more real music in real time for real people, just like you right there and me right here. And we'll talk to you then.